Oh, what are we back? What are we doing here? Oh, hey, everybody. This is the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. We have yet to figure this out, and I really don't need Keith shaking his fucking head at me like he's my mother, and I just got to came home with a C- in English class or something. Look at you. Yeah, like, figure it out, whatever. All right, so, hey, man, welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. It's another Friday, and we're going to find out just how long it's going to go before my microphone starts.
Or my Wi-Fi cuts out,
or Keith's Wi-Fi cuts
I
out.
have to wait 8 seconds.
Right. And we're going to hope that, somebody comes over and tries to light the end of Jesse's beard on fire. I think that'd be funny looking.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Actually, Jesse, you're in the path right now of the tropical storm as it's coming up through, and you might be on call, so you might lose power, and you might be on the run at any moment. So everybody sit on the edge of your seats there. We got, Parks and Rec is on the job. So
don't work for Parks and Rec, dick.
We got a swing set down in Park 35. Flooding in the sandbox. Call Jesse Martin.
Oh boy!
Oh, you fucking prick!
How are you doing, Keith? What's up with you, man? Got your black bibs on?
Yeah, definitely got those. I'm prepared for that game. No, everything's all well, man. Just checking on my family and friends in Florida. This was a tough hurricane, so it's been a while since they've really had one to that extent. So
you'd think they'd be a little more excited.
Yeah, I mean, we usually were. I mean, the pre-hurricane parties were great, man. That's one thing I do miss about Florida. But it looks like they're having a lot of fun down there. So I wish I was down there with them.
Oh, well, that's how it goes when you live in the places these things happen. Weather is one of those things that you can't control. So what can you do about it? You can survive it or not. I hope everybody down there is okay. It's a pretty bad storm. It came all the way through, and it's about to knock Jesse's power out. So we'll keep going until he's gone. All right, so it's Dallas week. Now you're not going to Dallas, are you, Keith? With the rest of the Hog Farmers, a couple of them are going down here. Chris and
actually, none of them are going to be
really. So you guys bought those black bibs to wear in your house?
No, because the black bibs come out for the Minnesota game. That was what was on schedule.
There we go. All right,
this was a they threw this in, and
so let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, because I took a look at them, dude. They look like they come out of a serial killer's catalog.
What are you talking about? The bibs?
The bibs.
I was talking about the jerseys. Let's talk about
the black jerseys.
Yeah, let's talk about why.
Well,
why did they?
It's
probably announced. I mean, come on. But Ron was like, don't you believe Ron? Don't
Whatever.
you say it's just,
no, I don't.
No, sorry.
Sorry, Ron.
But
here's my impression of Ron at the microphone. Oh, shit.
Yeah, no, we just had a huge ass kicking. The fan morale was really down. They knew that the black jerseys excited the fan base, and so therefore they said, "Well, let's wear them. We can wear them twice a year, and we only had them scheduled for a year, or one time for the year. So let's do it for the Dallas game, and that'll help bring the morale." Good luck with that.
Jason went running down the hallway with his little hammer and broke glass in case of emergency, and pulled out those black uniforms. Right. Look, I don't care about the why. The fact of the matter is, what I hate about it is the fact is that they have to keep doing this kind of shit to keep fans interested. This week on Twitter, some of the things that were being said were, Ron was asked that question, why did you bring out the black uniforms? And Ron went like this. He did one of these things, which of course means to everybody on Twitter, my God, Ron is about ready to walk out there and kick the shit out of that reporter. He's sick and tired of everybody in this town. He's sick and tired of the media. He's sick and tired of the fans. It's all your fault. The fans. Look, you know what fans are getting tired of? Fans are getting tired of having their game be over at 1:12 on a Sunday afternoon. We've just opened our first fucking beer.
1:12?
Right. We've just ate our first goddamn potato chip. And well, might as well go outside to find something else to do. So don't tell me about how Ron's getting sick of the fucking fans. We're getting fucking sick of getting our asses handed to us. We're getting sick of not even looking like a professional fucking football team. That's what we're sick of. So there.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I think that's pretty much covered it.
God damn right. Keep that. All right. Well, with that said, there's not really a whole lot else that was going on this week. Although I hear Charles Leno's got a slight injury. He missed practice the other day. He didn't.
That could be big. Yeah, that could be big.
The Cowboys are blind. Nasty.
I guess Cornelius Lucas would be the next man up, and although he's not an awful tackle, but he's not Leno.
No.
But he did fare pretty well in the year starting here when Trent Williams was going through that ordeal. He actually did pretty well, and he's done good in spot starts for Cosme on the right hand side, and if Leno has to miss a game, I wouldn't want it to be this game because Dallas Cowboys has the best pass rush in the NFL at this moment. But we could do a lot worse with a backup than Cornelius,
as we have seen with both guard positions and the center.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Keith, did you watch the game Monday night? Did you watch that trash fest where their defensive line just ate Daniel Jones's lunch?
No, I pretty much don't watch any football other than ours at this point. It's too difficult for me, man.
Yeah.
Time. Kids in sports. My son just started playing basketball as well, practicing for the yeah, I know. Well, they started early because last year these kids didn't have a gym to practice in. COVID was still a thing. It was just last year was a big mess. So they started this year early, did tryouts. My son made the team. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. Back to football. It's just really difficult. So I wasn't able to really pay attention to a lot of these games.
I do not miss my kids in sports. They're all grown. It's a very hectic fucking time in life when you have multiple kids dealing with sports.
You're 100% correct. I mean, it's probably 75% of my stress right now. It's fun watching them in sports, but you have to be on top of everything else. I'm glad that my wife, is heavily involved in this, but she overloads herself with other things too. So it's nonstop, man. Football, basketball.
Look, my kid's 26, and I get tired of him calling me up to ask me if I want to come watch him in his bowling league. Actually, I think he's here because he sent us a message that said the biggest thing going on is our third center, to bring it back around to our football team.
Yeah,
but we'll get to all that in a couple of minutes. And frankly, I feel a little bit better about that than our second center.
Max, you're gonna let your dad talk shit on you like that? Come on, man.
Max doesn't have a microphone, right?
He's got to fire back. He said you never have.
So, all right. So I'll tell you what. I guess we might as well. This is the breakdown show, so we might as well break down. My God, they're gonna kill us! They're gonna beat the shit out of us.
God, it sucks being a fan of this team.
I swear to God, poor Carson Wentz. He's gonna have his knee stuck in his ear. I'm telling you, their pass rush is fierce, and it was fierce last year when we had a supposedly mobile quarterback. Gregory's not there anymore, so we won't have him laying on top of our quarterback making smart-ass comments on TV and not getting flagged for it. But so far this year, obviously, we can't block anybody, and we can't adjust to try to block anybody. Max put up a question. He said it was the biggest concern was going with our third center. Look, he's a natural center at least. He's got starts in the league at center. He might not be the best, but Jesus Christ, Wes Schweitzer. John Keim said the other day that he hadn't seen Wes Schweitzer on the field, so I tweeted him, hey, might as well look in Carson Wentz's lap. He's probably there. He's been there since last Sunday.
Yeah.
Take a look. He's probably in there.
Yeah.
So, anything's got to be better than Schweitzer at this point, right?
I would think so. I mean, Schweitzer, didn't you say he ran that position last season, and but this year, like, it was just the worst. And like, I'm not a guy that should be talking about anything fundamentals when it comes to the center position. But even I looked at that and I'm like, that shit ain't normal. I mean, I don't think you're supposed to stand up and snap. But okay, if this is what we're gonna do, then it is what it is. I mean, not only was he standing up, snapping low, but he was blocking high. I mean, everything was wrong. And I'm like, if I'm pointing this out, that's a problem.
Well, he does what they call the asshole block, which was to roll over on his back with his asshole sticking straight in the air. And if the guy doesn't step in it on the way to the quarterback.
Shout out to Ref the District. He's in the chat. What's going on?
What's up, Nathan?
What's up, Nathan?
Man, watching everybody's film breakdowns over the course of the week, just watching Trey Turner spin around and fall down all by himself. It's like watching a toddler out there on the field, a toddler that you've given like 2 shots of tequila out there trying to block people.
Our boy Steve down there. What's up, Steve?
Yeah, what's going on, Steve, from Command This Podcast? If you guys have not heard, definitely go check out the Command This Podcast and Ref the District. The guys do great work covering our beloved team. And thanks for joining in.
Steve and Nathan are two of the top-notch people I've met in this fan base, man. I'm glad they're constantly supporting us, so we thank you for that.
I swear to God, we turn into the Merv Griffin show, and you guys are too young to even know what that is.
Oh, he's just the greatest. He's the most kinship guy that I've ever met.
Shut up, John. You don't give love to anybody.
John's in dick mode today,
and then he wonders why nobody invites him on his podcast.
That's no shit.
Actually, I don't wonder why. I know why. I know exactly.
They don't ever invite me.
No, that's fine because I know they're gonna be like, shit. My mother listens to this. We can't have that guy on. You never know what the fuck he's gonna say.
All right, where are we at, gentlemen? We always
we're still sitting here, kind of just giving our initial impressions of what's gonna happen this week against the Cowboys. So we might as well start with the offense. Do you think that we have a chance to be able to overcome this pass rush? We talked about a little bit about the offensive line. The fact that I like that there's at least a natural center in the game. Turner and Norwell still scare the living shit out of me. Cosme got his ass whipped last week. So maybe wasn't Cosme a guard when we drafted him?
No,
I thought he was.
There was talk that he could possibly move to guard. He was always a tackle from the University of Texas, and there was a possibility if he could not hang that he could be moved inside, a la Brandon Sheriff. But since he showed pretty well during training camps last year, they decided to keep him on the outside. When it comes to thinking about this team, when you ask, what do we think? I stopped thinking about this a long time ago because what I think just doesn't fucking happen. At least it hasn't. You would think we would be going in the right direction, even though we see glimpses of it. It just has not. We have not been able to put it all together. And do I think this is going to happen this week?
I don't know. Do you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I stopped thinking. I don't know. I'm not going to. I do not want to put any more emotion into it than I have to at this point because it's just been nothing but disappointment.
Well,
emotion is not even a factor for me anymore. But go ahead, Keith.
Yeah. So for me, I haven't thought heavily on it, but I have to go by from what I've seen from the last game and what we can improve into this game. Me personally, I felt like that we were running a little success with the run game, and for some reason we got away from that a little bit. It seemed like anytime that we were trying to throw the ball, it was throwing the ball downfield, hitting those home runs. I don't understand why we got away from the run because we were penetrating through that line that was actually putting Carson on his ass all game. Yeah. So looking, moving forward to this game here, I know we have some offensive line situations. We're already, in the negative when it comes to this. But I think if we can sustain a little bit of success with the run, to where if we are in third downs, it's short yard situations. In this case, we have to keep running the ball because I foresee. I'm not going to say that it's going to be a 9-sack game. But we have to be really concerned with Dallas's pass rush. So,
I'd say that's the understatement of the freaking month.
Right. How about not dropping back and trying to hit home runs every time you're throwing the ball down the field? Right. I mean, we got to stay with the short game here, gentlemen. I mean, I'm seeing, a lot of play action, some screen passes. I'm seeing some running. I think that we have the ability to sustain some success at that route. But if we're looking to see, 60-yard touchdowns in stride, I just don't think it's going to happen in this game. For me, I'd much rather see Cooper Rush than Dak Prescott in this game. So, and we do have some of our defenders back, coming in for this game as well. So on paper, it looks slightly a little better than what we were matching up with against the Eagles. But
Okay.
the offensive line right now is going to be the key, and I'm not seeing it right now. And now you're talking Charles Leno possibly isn't playing either.
Hobbled a little bit.
Yeah, that's tough, man. If he gets in there, great. If he's not there, I'm even more nervous because it just looks like our offensive line right now doesn't.
Well,
have
aren't
it
you like
together.
fourth on the depth chart? I think you should be nervous. They're gonna have you suiting up soon, I'm thinking.
I ain't suiting up. Shit.
Look, you're right. They've got to start with the short game, and they've got to start with it quick. They've got to run the ball quick, and especially when you figure the Eagles last week ran a lot of 3-man fronts. And if you can't penetrate a 3-man front and run the ball, if you can't spot a 3-man front and say they're dropping 8 guys back into coverage, run it right up their fucking noses, then you need to get back up off the goddamn sidelines, Mr. Scott Turner, because your whole business about being down there so you can communicate with Carson Wentz. You know how you're communicating? You're going over and offering him your hand to help him up off the fucking ground. Get up in the air where you can see what the hell's happening to your offensive line so you can make some adjustments if that's what needs to happen. I totally agree with running the ball for 2 reasons. A, if they are rushing with 3, you have to. And B, when you have pass blockers that can't pass block, let these fat motherfuckers go forward. Trey Turner, if there's one thing he knows how to do, it's fall down. So let him fall down forward into somebody and move them out of the way for a run play.
I'm interested to see how Nick Martin is going to play, because I would assume he's going to get the start if Schweitzer is unable to go. The guy has
to play. I don't understand this. This is where I get confused with this offensive line coach. Come on, man. He can't do it. You watched him last week. You can't do it.
Yeah, he had a rough last week. I'm not, yes.
He's had I could have done what he did.
But he has played well in the past, both the center position and mostly at guard.
Well, back in the
but
past,
we don't know what we're going to get out of Nick Martin. Yes, he's a dedicated center, so to speak. But we got him off the street. So I think it's going to be interesting to see if he'll be able to catch on. And no relation to Wes Martin. Steve Lim said, yes, you're right. Hopefully we do not see, if we see Wes Martin on the fucking field, just turn the game off, turn it to a different game, because we're going to be in fucking trouble.
It's really hard as a fan to go into this game. I mean, this raised up, and this is something that we can discuss here too as well. But through the week, it's really tough when you see the team account tweeting out Dallas week. Over the years, what's your guys' opinion on Dallas week? I just don't feel that it's the same anymore with the rivalry with them.
That's just because it's so unbalanced.
To be perfectly frank, it's been unbalanced for most of you guys' fan careers. All right. In the 90s, they beat the living shit out of us all the fucking time. Troy Aikman had something like a 12-game win streak against us. Yeah. We lost in the 4th quarter on opening day to bombs to Rocket Ishmael and shit. At that point, that's when it was just, there was no competitive anything left in this rivalry anymore.
Yeah. After Gibbs left the first time.
Yeah. That was the thing. It was before that. I was talking to Tara about this. She asked if the Cowboys were your most hated team. And I said, no, the Giants are my most hated team, because the Giants, when we were our best, they were our rivals. All right. The Giants and the Redskins had wars. The Cowboys were an afterthought in those eras. The 70s, that's the Cowboys and Redskins. All right. That's where that whole thing came from. And I still do like to have, animosity towards the Cowboys, but to me, it's no different than the Eagles. But the Giants, for me, are on a whole other level of hatred. Fuck them.
To me, it's the Eagles.
I would throw them a bag of rocks and piss on it.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I think the Eagles are my most hated team, and it's more about the fan base. I mean, than the fucking team itself. I don't like any of the teams in the NFC East, obviously, but Philly fans are just they're just shitty people.
Well, that's what I was going to say too. It was interesting because as a small kid, as a fan growing up, I mean, I hated the Cowboys. I didn't care about the fans.
Right, because your dad brought that with him from the 70s.
Right. And then exactly. So I grew up like that's just the thing you do. And then as I got older, like you guys said, I mean, we were pretty much getting our asses whipped by the Cowboys. And so I stopped hating the team so much, and I just hated the fans because they would always trash talk that. And, then, that all changed because, they were still whipping our ass. We'd get a game in here or there, but, meeting my wife and her, being an Eagles fan, I didn't even hate the Eagles, back when I was in college. And then when her and I left Florida and moved up here, now, for me, personal reasons, now I hate these guys. I didn't even want to go. Yeah. I didn't even want to go to my son's practice this past Tuesday because I knew I was going to see a lot of the Eagles fans. Now, I don't trash talk to these guys because I understood that regardless, the Eagles were a better team going into that game. But these guys don't care. They're relentless, and if their team is doing well and then they have a performance the way they did last Sunday, I've got nothing to say. Like, I can't even argue it. I can't even be there. And so the fact that I didn't even want to go to my kids' practice because I knew that I was going to have to face those idiots told me I can't. I love those guys, but they're idiots. Like, I hate their football team. And so,
yes,
therefore, yeah. So therefore, like, I don't really have any feelings towards Dallas anymore. Like, I just go in and just expect.
There's just another team in the division. Yeah, they are a hated rival, but not Giants.
One thing I think as fans we can take in and really feel good about is each year, and this is media driven, and the stupidity of fans themselves. They always think this is going to be their year. And we get to kind of revel in the fact that you might make it to the playoffs, but that's about fucking it. I mean,
our fan base always thinks that we're 10 to 12 wins every year. I mean, it's just
guilty.
John. Yeah.
So anyway, this is what Michael Irvin had to say about what he thinks about his defensive line and our team.
And what you're looking at on that defensive line is something finger licking good special. That's what I'm talking about. All five, they just be coming rushing and just getting it a quarterback. It's finger licking good special.
That makes me hate him again. God, I can't stand that guy, man.
All right, now I'm going to have to introduce you guys to something. This is what's known as the Michael Irvin sound effect. Michael Irvin makes more goofy sound effects with his noise with his mouth on TV than anybody I've ever seen. And we are going to start collect them. And here's our first. There we go. Oh, we lost Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse dropped out. I had a feeling he just texted and said, sorry, something's going down.
Oh, okay. Maybe he lost power. Maybe he just hates Michael Irvin.
I definitely hate Michael Irvin. Listen, he's feeding off of what he saw of the Eagles game, just like our fan base is on Twitter, or on other social media. I lose brain cells every time I try to go on Facebook and I look at some of these posts that these people put. Oh, it's so awful, man. Like, I don't even want to post our podcast in there. Like, it's embarrassing. Yeah, that's why I don't bother either. I mean, but when when you have to listen to all that negativity, everyone is just feeding off of what they saw. And to be honest, like, I'm not mad at any of the fans for being mad, dude. We see this time and time again, so really what I look at it is sure, you can say all that, but there's no way that, Mike Parsons is good, but he ain't getting 9 sacks. Come on now.
Well, okay.
He ain't getting 9, John.
Record? The record's still 6-7. Is it Derek Thomas still got 7 in a game? Look, I hope not, but I don't have any faith right now. I really don't. And the reason why I don't have any faith is because we keep getting beat before we even get out of the damn locker room, man. They see this shit on the film and they know how to beat it. And our offensive coaches just are not making adjustments. Last week, defensively, we made some adjustments, and I have a feeling that this week, look, this is fucking Cooper goddamn Rush. Cooper motherfucking Rush, all right? Great. Go get him. Go fucking get him. Beat the shit out of this guy. Knock his head into his fucking asshole. Tony Pollard can be good, all right? That dude is a damn good running back. Zeke is not, I think, on Pollard's level now because I think he's just been beat up quite a bit. Oh, he's back. Here we go. Is he back? There he is. Jesse's back.
Hey, welcome back.
Thank God. We were worried out there, Jesse. I got a message that came across my phone that said some floaties had broken off from the side of the community pool. Possibly go and round them up.
No, I'm not the worst looking dude on the show now.
Power just went out for a second and then like immediately came back on and it booted up really fast. Kind of odd.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah,
that's
right,
good.
Yeah,
That's what we know in the business as a warning. That's when the electric company
Yeah.
bill in 3 months, so they go.
Dusty will be gone in 10 minutes.
Yeah, probably. It's
There you go.
yeah. So if I have to leave, if I get cut out, I love every one of y'all, and I appreciate the support. And I'll get my award.
I love you guys, man.
I'll get my award later on.
This sliding board's about ready to tip over. He's gonna be fighting the wind.
Guys, I gotta go. I got a seesaw to fix.
I got a rescue seesaw.
See what I put up with this.
Comes from soccer field. All right. So anyway, I hope we're not doing this, but this was Montez Sweat when he was asked this week. I don't know if you guys heard this, but he was asked this week why he's been, invisible.
Ron said he feels like you're getting a lot of attention this year with no Chase on the other side. Is that something you've noticed? Teams kind of focusing on you?
I mean, excuses like assholes. Everybody got them.
Everybody's got one.
Everybody's
I don't
got
know why
one.
it cuts out.
Excuses like assholes. Everybody got them.
Everybody's got an asshole.
Nathan, if you're still listening, I don't know why this damn thing does this, but these audio clips cut out like a quarter second before they're supposed to be over. Now, speaking of assholes, Keith, you had a nice big bowl of SpaghettiOs the other night.
I did. I did.
All right. Well, anybody else out there who's in their 40s that eats SpaghettiOs?
Listen, don't knock the SpaghettiOs, man. It was good. And like I said, I I'm one of those dudes, I look back and said, man, we really need this win. What do I got to do to help this team out? So I thought, and I was like, man, I had SpaghettiOs at 8:02 p.m. on a Wednesday. I'm going to do it this time because I didn't do it the last 2 weeks and we lost. So if we win this game, you thank my SpaghettiOs.
All right, I will. I will thank SpaghettiOs.
If we win this game, I will have some victory SpaghettiOs with you. How about that? I'll go to the store and I don't even know where the aisle is, but I'll buy some SpaghettiOs. I'm sure I can find it if I look hard enough.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, it's in the potted meat section.
Exactly.
It's in the potted meat section, asshole.
I will go one better. If we win, then yes, all three of us will have a bowl of SpaghettiOs here on this podcast next week, and I will get the kind that has the meat balls in it. I don't know what the hell those are made of, assholes and lips, but they bounce pretty good. So I'll get some of those. All right. So do we have a chance of not eating SpaghettiOs on Monday, Jesse?
Shit, man. I don't know. I think look, there's always a chance. But I mean, things are looking kind of grim at the moment, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'd say.
My heart wants to say yes, just because you look at this team has Cooper Rush,
but you can't trust it. You can't fucking trust it right now.
That's right. I remember Clint Longley. I know you guys don't, but I do. Ruined my Thanksgiving.
Always brings up guys from like 1930s, bro. Like no one knows who that is, John.
You know the Redskins history.
Every episode, Jesse, am I wrong? Every episode, John always brings up something. It'd be like, this dude, I know you guys don't know. Then why? You're right.
You should. I didn't say you wouldn't know. I just say he's before your time. But you should know who he is. If you're going to talk about Cowboys week, that's a name you should know.
No, I don't.
Rodney says he's going to join us in a bowl of SpaghettiOs if we get.
That's because Rodney is my man, and he understands the 5-star meal that it takes to eat those SpaghettiOs. Yeah, that's right.
To have a nice fine meal of beefaroni.
I love that guy too. I know we always talk about Rodney's a cool dude, man. Love that guy.
Well, tell me this, Keith. Which fizzy little drink pairs well with beefaroni?
What?
Which one of these little fizzy, bubbly red things that you drink pairs well with beefaroni?
Nah, I drink milk.
Milk with beefaroni.
Listen, every time I eat,
he probably has a crazy straw too, doesn't he?
Bro, I love milk so much. It's my favorite drink. I don't care what any of you say. So anytime I eat pasta, man, milk is the go-to.
Milk is disgusting. No wonder you're always sitting.
Milk is disgusting. What are you talking about?
Every time you're on this talking for more than 2 minutes, you're like, let me tell you what I think about the defense. You're always doing that. And it's no wonder. Your guts are probably like a nuclear disaster down there.
It's fucking indigestion, John. You should know.
I know exactly what I'm saying. My man's eating milk and SpaghettiOs.
That's probably why you have fucking indigestion, because your goddamn diet.
Listen. I only had one daddy, and he's not here anymore. I don't need two y'all telling me what to eat and what not to eat.
I'm not telling you what to eat. I'm having fun making fun of all the shit that's going to happen to you as a result.
Let's get back to the show, gentlemen. We're lucky 3 people are watching us right now.
All right, what do we got to do? Well, actually, it's more. It's just not showing it. I see multiple and different things.
I'm sorry, 8.
Yeah.
Thanks, Grandma. Appreciate you joining.
Yeah, don't count out Grandma.
Excuses like
Grandma
assholes.
Gray.
Everybody got them.
Oh, so Montez Sweat, listen, he's 100% correct. And I appreciate the fact that he's not throwing anything out there, but that's the key right there. We knew that Chase Young wasn't going to be here at the start of the season. We need more out of Montez Sweat. And the funny thing is the fan base was going after Daron Payne last season because it was kind of that way. Daron Payne, like, you just felt like he was just there, right? Like, he's just there plugging up the holes. I mean, he may play. I'm not like saying that he was sorry. I'm just saying, to the fan base, he was expendable. Like they would trade him.
We were expecting so much more out of Montez Sweat.
They'd trade him for a can of SpaghettiOs and a glass of milk if we had to at this point. You know what I'm saying? So, but here's the thing: you draft Montez Sweat, you expect him to play at a certain level. And I'm not bashing him, but you look at the situation like our guy Chase Young isn't there. Sweat, you got to step up. Now, I get if he's getting doubled. I get if things are more difficult for him. But just like he said, at the end of the day, those are excuses. You find a way.
Right.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And the funny thing is, he has not been putting anything in the stat line. And this is what I find kind of crazy is the fact that he's still regarded as one of the better rushers in the league. Even though he's not getting home, he needs to find a way to get home. That's the fact of the matter is. But he's still in the top, I think, 7 or 8 pass rushers in pass rush win rate in the entire league. He's just not fucking getting home. But he's getting a lot of pressures and making the quarterback scramble in the pocket.
I have a feeling Chase is not going to be back next week. All right, I don't think he's going to be quite ready.
I don't expect him until after Halloween.
Like maybe 6th. Yeah, but I want to see more Shakatoni. I want to see much more Shakatoni. If we're going to have Sweat in there, I don't want to see any more James Smith-Williams. Show me Shakatoni. That dude's got some pass rush about him. He's got some speed about him. He's got some ruckus about him. I want to see him.
He's got some bend. He's got some bend.
He really does. And I want, when he hits the quarterback, I'm going to jump up and shake my dick at the TV and yell, Shakatoni, 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 Shakatoni. And I expect everybody out there in podcast land to do the same with me. And
hey, so Rodney's got a great question. He asked, do you guys think that this game will be at least be closer than we think? Could they possibly play worse than last week? That would make it 3 awful performances in a row. And he says he doesn't see it. And that's kind of where my heart is coming in and saying, like, I agree with that. Like, it's hard to go in this game excited because of what we saw last Sunday, but could it get any worse than what we saw?
It doesn't
and
matter.
At Cooper Rush, we're talking Jalen Hurts versus Cooper Rush.
Right. And CeeDee Lamb, I don't care what anybody says. The dude looks like he needs to eat a sandwich yesterday. All right. He looks like one of those people that you picked up off a raft in 1984.
I know people don't want to hear this, but he's a good receiver, though.
He's a damn good receiver, but he will drop them. He dropped 2 of them the other day, but then again, he made up for it and scored and won.
He did. And McLaurin dropped a big one, too. I mean, we weren't really in the game, Dotson. So it wasn't. Yeah, and Dotson, too. I mean, we weren't really in the game, so it didn't kill us, but it didn't help.
Look, we said this on the last podcast. We've seen flashes and bits of good play throughout the first 3 games. It just hasn't been put together yet. If our defense played okay, like it did last week, and our offense can put together 4 quarters of what we saw in quarters 3 and 4 against the Lions, sure, yeah, we have a chance. But the fact of the matter is we haven't seen it all together for 4 quarters on either side of the ball.
No, we haven't. I wouldn't call it 3 bad performances. I thought they played pretty well against the Jaguars. They kind of had some lows. Second and third quarter they had some lows, but they also stayed within. Their defense kept them in the game. They kept making stops, even though we did get a lucky drop.
And it looks like the Jaguars are a little bit better than people expected. Coming into the season, they look like they've gotten it together. Now, whether was that just first game jitters? Was that, did we actually play well? We don't know that yet. It's still far too early in the season to, know what weighs up right now. Like I said, we've seen glimpses of decent play through the defense. I thought the defense played well enough that we could have won that game if we had a semblance of an offense against the Eagles. I thought they played well. We knew the Eagles were going to score points, but we did hold them to 24. And if the offense could have played better, like they did in quarters 3 and 4 against the Lions, right? We could have made it a game, but we didn't. We have playmakers. We have playmakers all over the field on offense.
But what we're doing to Scott Turner is he's dropping him back too far to try to get to him downfield. Okay, so that's not working. These guys are picking that shit apart, and what you're doing is you're putting your quarterback right into the place where Sam Cosmi, who's getting his ass kicked, is trying to wash these guys around. So he's washing them right into where Wentz is standing. So, and again, Wentz has the pocket presence of Stevie Wonder walking through a construction site. And it's just that simple. He's got a good arm, but in the pocket, he don't know what the fuck's coming and where it's coming from. So get the short game going. To me, it's on about Scott Turner. You're right. It's hard to get excited about this game because you're afraid. It's like the fucking biggest guy in school just called you out and said 2:30, I'm going to kick your ass. And it's 2:15. And you're like, fuck, what am I going to do? So we do have a chance because offensively, I don't think that they're nearly as dangerous as we can be. And if our defensive line, if we can creative and we can get that kind of push, if I can see Jamin Davis in there smacking Cooper Rush around, if I can see the middle of that Daron Payne, just go in there and bite him once, just fucking take him down and bite a chunk out of his leg. Just let people think you're absolutely insane. Make them take you to the SPCA and test you for rabies, whatever. Go in there and rattle his fucking cage. All right. And treat him like Cooper Rush. You know what I'm saying? He ain't goddamn. It's not the Kurt Warner story getting ready to happen here.
Now, another question, actually, when I was reading in the comments too, Steve brought up a good point when I had mentioned about us getting away from the run game. Do you think that Ron was limiting touches to Antonio Gibson, considering his fumbling issues?
No, I don't think so. I think that what they're trying to do is they're just trying to get the ball downfield too much. They're trying to go too deep and trying to take the top off the defense. So, yeah, run the ball. And the reason why I say that is because even if Ron wants to limit the touches, well, okay, then put Williams in there and say, it's a 3-man front, dude. Go feast. Go run.
The only problem I have is no matter what you try and do, what you think you need to do based upon the guys that you have out on the field, if we do not have a good offensive line that can block no matter what situation, we're going to be 100 times in trouble, just like we were Sunday. And that's really what concerns me is that O-line.
And that's where it all starts is the offensive line. It doesn't matter what you do. If your offensive line can't hold a block for a second and a half, it's not going to fucking matter. Our running game, they've broken off a couple 8-yard runs here and there, but it has not been there. And I think this offensive line, this offensive line is just it's just not that good right now. It's just
tough too because we're going.
What you do with a bad offensive line is you run because pushing is the easiest thing to do. You don't have to worry about footwork too much. Just freaking throw your big fat ass into the guy in front of you and move him out.
Block enough to to create a hole.
Right. And I mean, you got some stunts you got to pull, and you got to pull here, and you got to get in a hole, and you got to do some traps. But this is pass blocking when you are Trey Turner is a problem because A, you're a big fat clumsy idiot and you fall all over yourself, and B, if you're Andrew Norwell, you're a big fat idiot who can't stay on his 2 feet. And if you're Wes Schweitzer trying to snap the ball, dude, not only are you a big fat dope kid can't stay on his feet, you are a bowling ball getting shoved right back into your quarterback. So let him go forward. Let him punch some people in the mouth rather than taking the blow. You know what I'm saying? Push him into the corner. Start fucking hitting them. That's what I say. All right. So hang on. I got one more couple things that I got to. We have anything left to talk about in this game? What do you think about special teams?
I play like they did last week.
Joey Sly is 0 for 0. You know that dude hasn't even had a kick. He has had no kicks yet. 0 for 0.
Yeah, that's wild to me.
That's pretty bad.
The first three games, no field goals.
That's pretty bad. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I do have a couple of little pieces of audio here, and I'm gonna play this because it'll probably get Keith to be feeling like he's in trouble. But I didn't say it. This is Al Michaels live on the broadcast. Ready for this? This is Al Michaels live last night.
Covering on the play, 2 fags in the offensive backfield. Covering on the play, 2 fags in the offensive backfield.
He could have been talking about cigarettes. Someone threw some cigarette butts.
He could have been talking about Joe Burrow.
Covering on the play, 2 fags in the offensive backfield. Covering on the play, 2 fags in the offensive backfield.
I mean, you know,
he's
80 years old, right? So, you know, he doesn't care anymore, right?
What's that, babe? You need me for a second?
Oh, lordy.
Come here, Keith.
He's back.
He is back.
Okay.
All right.
No
so,
comment.
Yeah. I guess what we could do is we're supposed to call Jerry today. So we'll call Jerry, and then we'll make our pick. We'll be done with everybody until tomorrow we're going to come on and we're going to do our picks. Keith, it's up to you. If you want to come on, we're going to try to get on around 5:00. I know you're busy as hell on Friday, on Saturdays. God damn, I don't even know what day it is.
It depends. I mean, it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow too, so we may not have football. So either way, I'll check in with you guys on that.
Now, I'll tell you what, if you have a problem up there, say with, you know, the merry-go-round, I know a guy. I saw these pictures. I saw this picture of all these like 40,000 lineman trucks down in Florida getting ready to go to work to get the power back on. I'm thinking, Jesse, dude, you need to get down there. I mean, there's some people down there. Some beach balls need inflating. They got some soccer nets that need replacing.
We had a hurricane coming through here probably, I don't know, 12 years ago, and I made $1,000 a day with my fucking chainsaw just cutting trees up.
There you go.
Had cash, thick ass wads of cash.
Yeah, man.
Stacks.
Yeah, I know last year when it started to get ready to snow, man, you'd sit your ass out in the truck and start getting paid $100 an hour to sleep all night just in case a couple of flakes came down. That's living. But you know what Al Michaels would say about it.
Covering on the play, 2 fags in the offensive backfield.
There you go. All right, so let's call Jerry up on the phone here real quick. Hang on a second.
I'm surprised he's waiting for us.
Well, I don't know if he knows what we're calling, but we're going to give it a try.
All right.
Hello.
Jerry, how you doing, buddy?
Shit, I done fucked this up. Hang on, there we go.
Oh, hello.
What's going on, big Jerry?
We are awful. What's up, Jerry?
Why, hello there, boys. It's nice to talk to you. I kind of expected y'all to come here today since we're getting ready to whoop up on your, what do y'all call this year? Oh, the Commanders. That's right.
Yeah, the Commanders.
Hey, I see that y'all are going to have a pig for a mascot. That's awful cute.
Did the pig win? I didn't even know that.
I have no idea, but if it was up to me, I'd vote for the pig because, you know, I'll tell you something right now, boys. If you're drunk enough and you look at the end of a pig, you just imagine a little bit, and it's, well, God dang it. It's like having a little bit of some fatty fun.
Jesus, Jerry. Starting off.
Now, what can I do for you, boys?
Starting off pretty high. Okay, all right, Jerry. I'm going to steal a quote from you. Right now, the Commanders
have
fans,
my lawyer talk to you about that.
Us fans of the Commanders are lower than a crippled cricket's ass.
I do believe I did say that at one point.
You did say that at one point. Yep.
Crippled cricket.
It's just because of how we played the past 2 weeks. It's been a little rough here in Washington. So tell us, what can we expect from Cooper the Red Rocket Rush on Sunday in Jerry's world, and how can we attack him?
Well, let me tell you a couple of things. Number one, I want to apologize right up front for the cricket comment, because as we all know, it is now it's a world for pansies. So he is no longer a crippled cricket. He is a hoppity challenged cricket. So there's that. And down in Jerry world, we got a whole different name for a red rocket, and it's something that you got to see when the dog comes walking around and sniffs at your crotch. That's not a thing. So we don't name any of our quarterbacks that. However, Cooper Rush, I forgot the question. Just let me go ahead and say right off the bat, he is going to lead the Dallas Cowboys to the Super Bowl 50, whatever we are right now. What are we at? 50, 57 or what? I don't know. It doesn't make any difference to me. You're going to win because Cooper Rush is going to lead us. I mean, listen here. If your name is goddamn Cooper Rush, you got two jobs that you could do. Use either a Cowboy Wrangler or a Cowboys quarterback. You're either out there roping them steers or you're out there throwing the passes out to CD Lamb. So Cooper Rush is going to lead the Cowboys, and we're going to be just as pleased as punch going on into the Super Bowl. And as a matter of fact, if you head over to cowboyshop.com right now and you put in the code RUSH, you will get yourself 10% off a brand new Cooper Rush beanie. That's right. Put it on your head. It looks like red hair. You can pretend that you are Cooper Rush. So
Jerry, do you expect Dak back on the field anytime soon?
Well, here's what I expect out of Dak. He's been paid. I saw his signature on the check. So he's expected to do exactly what he's told. And that means if he's supposed to be out on the field, I want him on the field. If I don't want him on the field, he ain't going to be on the field. I expect Dak to do exactly that.
Okay, but you recently stated
yes,
like you just said
a lot of things. Let me tell you something. I did something last night that if anybody brings it back up, I'm going to deny forever.
You just said that Cooper Rush is going to lead y'all to the Super Bowl.
I also did that I ever fucked a pig. So let's just get that
right. You said if he played well enough to win and force a decision, quote, wouldn't it be something if you had that dilemma as to which way it would go?
I'm telling you something right
End
now.
Quote.
That's quote. If I had that kind of dilemma, I would lock myself aboard my 75-foot yacht. I would get myself a big bottle of Jergens and a Viagra, and I'd have myself a fun time trying to make that decision. I don't know which way I'd go. I got them covered from both angles, if you understand what I'm coming from, and it doesn't make really any difference whatsoever. Cowboy fans are stupid. They like to buy in if I say. So if I say, go to cowboyshop.com right now and put in the code DAC, I will send you 10% off a brand new DAC sweatshirt. And if you put in the Cooper Rush code, I will send you 10% off a brand new Cooper Rush t-shirt. And that goes for all of you people out there in Commander's Land. That's right.
Yeah,
Commander's Land. Thank you to my assistant Bobby over there for reminding me what the hell your name of your team is now.
We all were under the impression that Dak was your golden boy. Are you telling us that's not the case anymore?
Well, I ain't going to say one way or another whether he's my golden boy or not, because I believe that is also another one of those phrases that I'm not allowed to say. I'm not really up on what Dak's pronouns are, so I can't really say anything like that. He might be a golden day. He might, I don't know, he might identify as an ostrich these days. I never know what the hell people are doing. I'm telling you something right now. I'm just very happy to have grown up in the 70s. I had my good old time back then because, boy, I tell you something. You could tell the difference between a man and a woman. Sometimes there was a lot of hair. Sometimes you really had to look.
Jesus Christ, Jerry. I got one more question for you, Jerry.
All right, one more question.
You also recently stated that, quote, I have to believe that 1 + 1 = 3.
Oh, absolutely.
Could you please explain to us on how you came to that conclusion?
Absolutely. Look, I tell you what, look at this country right now. You can convince people 1 + 1 = 3 very quickly and very easily. All you have to do is tell them the Democrats think it's 2, and half the country's going to jump right in line. So you got to think about it in terms of the Dallas Cowboys fans. They don't know goddamn diddly squat about freaking math unless you tell them that there's a Super Bowl attached to the front of the number. They like those numbers, but they can't remember which ones they are. So you tell them 1 + 1 = 3, and then you sell them a T-shirt with that on it. If you go to cowboyshop.com right now with the promo code 1 + 1 = 3, I will sell you a Dak Prescott jersey with the wrong number sewn on it, and then you can look just like a real Cowboys fan.
That's great. We appreciate that.
1 + 1 does = 3.
So if someone offered you $10 billion for the Dallas Cowboys,
somebody goes, $10 billion is a lot of money now.
That is a lot of money. But I did read an article yesterday that you said you would not sell your team for $10 billion. Why wouldn't you? That's a lot of money, Jerry.
Well, it's true. It's a lot. And I tell you something right now. That Kim Jong-un, he offered to give me North Korea for the Dallas Cowboys, and I decided no. I really don't think so. You people, it's just not my thing. But he was kind of upset about it. I had to send him an extra wide helmet just to keep him quiet. But no, I wouldn't sell for $10 billion or $100. Well, maybe I would sell for $10 billion. It depends on who's bringing me the money. If her tits are big enough, I'll take that suitcase.
God, Jerry. Jeez. Keith, you want to jump in on this?
Yeah, Jerry, I'll keep it short and sweet with you.
Kind of like some of those fellas in the 70s.
Jerry, what's your key takeaways for the Cowboys to get their win against the Commanders this Sunday?
Oh, all they got to do is show up, really. That's pretty much it. We got the jerseys all set. They got the shoulder pads. As soon as they put them on, the referees plan on handing us the game ball, and that's going to be that. There really isn't much more to it. I'm telling you right now, we've already given Carson Wentz a nice padded pair of pants so that when he falls over, he won't hurt his ass so much.
Interesting. Well, Jerry,
we're going to drag you boys around the field like a snake drags balls around the desert. You understand that?
Jerry,
would not surprise me one day.
I'm sure you've seen the reports that the Washington Commanders are going to be debuting their black alternate uniforms. The Washington Commanders, Jerry, keep up.
So they got black uniforms, as if I'm not going to understand who the hell's out on the field now anyway. At least when you called yourself the Washington football team, I knew where the hell you was from.
So what do you think about these black alternates? Are you guys scared? Because it seems like that this was not on their schedule for this game. And after that poor performance against the Eagles, the Washington organization decided that they wanted to go ahead and let's get the fans' morale up and let's get these black uniforms out there on the field. So are you intimidated? Is your team scared of this at all?
No, I'll tell you something right now. Down in Texas, we got something else called alternative black things, and we're scared of them. That's for sure. You see how we vote all the time down here? We're terrified of those people. We don't want them getting anything. So I'm not too worried about Dan Snyder and his black uniforms. I'm really not. If he wants to try to sell black jerseys with the numbers, and that's fine with me. We're going to do our best to stain them up. And, that'll be a trick because we got that field turf down here, and it doesn't leave any marks. But we plan on leaving a few all over your quarterback.
So, Jerry, listen.
That might be the best thing about those black uniforms is the blood won't show through.
You might be right.
You might be right, Jerry. Jerry, last year it was a big deal when you guys brought your benches to our stadium. If the Commanders were to pull this stunt at your stadium, you going to put a stop to it? What are we doing here?
Listen, I tell you something. It's fun for somebody like me because when I said yesterday that I would not sell the Dallas Cowboys for $10 billion, I was trying to help you boys out because Dan Snyder seems to do everything that I do. He likes to do everything the way I do it. So if I say I'm going to sell for $10 billion, maybe he will sell his football team and rescue you people. Y'all can come on over here and be Dallas Cowboys fans. And then whatever they call that team afterwards, well, that's just up to them. But for me, I need an assistant sometimes because when I get on these long tangents about an answer to a question that happened more than 30 seconds ago, I completely lose track of what the hell I was trying to say. And that seems to have happened again.
Well, Jerry, I definitely appreciate your time. That's all the questions I have for you.
You seem like you're kind of down there, Keith. What's the matter? It smells like Philadelphia in your house.
Yeah, Jerry, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a little down. Dallas week is supposed to be exciting for us Commanders fans. And after that performance against the Eagles, it's kind of like how I perform at nighttime with my wife. And it just,
pretty rough.
Yeah. Because
I'd like to say I could understand that, but because the other thing that 1 + 1 = 3 is that, that's usually what I say to the chick I'm trying to pick up at the bar when I really like a friend too. Hey, 1 + 1. You understand me there, youngin'?
I do, Jerry.
When I'm feeling down, I go get a nice bowl of SpaghettiOs and milk, and let me tell you, it makes me feel all just chummy inside. And by chummy, I mean cut up fish parts. Disgusting.
We continue to have a season like we're having, Jerry. I just might take you up on that offer.
Well, it's not an offer. You got to buy it yourself. You can use your EBT card or whatever it
is. Jesse, hang up on this clown. I'm done talking with Jerry.
We appreciate your time as always, Jerry, and we'll talk to you next time.
You boys be good. Oh, what the hell is that? There we go.
All right.
Well,
Change my name
alrighty.
back. Otherwise, I'm
Seamless.
gonna ruin
Seamless.
There we go.
Gentlemen, I got 5 minutes. Let's wrap this up.
All right, let's prediction. Jesse, what do you think we're gonna do?
Well, listen, I had a better feeling, or I had a good feeling that we're going to keep up with the Eagles last week. This week, I don't fucking know, man. I got no movement on this game whatsoever, one way or the other.
Tell you what, a bowl of SpaghettiOs, and you will have movement before morning.
You're probably right about that. I'm going to say we're going to lose. Just because I am being I'm going to bring my pessimistic self back.
Dude, it just went to the bathroom. That's all.
John, Scott brought up a good point. It's usually something I ask every time Jerry's on. You definitely seem to miss him every time he calls. What's up with that?
I don't know. It's just my bad luck, I guess.
And two, we only have 3 blocks that we can fill in at the moment. Someone didn't change the we only put 3 people on the screen.
Next time you boys come over to the United States, make sure you come down to Jerry World. I'll give you a nice tour and take you to some of those goddamn strip clubs that my players like to go to. We'll give you a handful of $100 bills, and you'll have yourself some fun.
Well, I'm sure Michael Irvin can help out on with that too. Show him all the clubs.
So my final saying for this game. That's pretty much it, actually. That's how I'm feeling.
Covering on the play, 2 fags in the offensive backfield.
Keith doesn't like that one.
I got 2 predictions. And the reason why I have 2 is because some of y'all be snitching and going and telling the hog front. So my first prediction is we're winning 73-3, baby. That's right. 73-3. Woo! Rah-rah. All right, you ready?
All right.
The real Keith showed up. We're losing 73-3.
We're losing 73-3.
73-3.
No.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a closer game than
I think it's gonna be like a 24-20. It could swing either way.
I'm hoping that it's like that, and I'm hoping it seems like every game that we play are swing games. So I think if they
were swinging Carson Wentz around,
I knew that was coming. That's why I didn't want to say it. I absolutely hate this guy. All
right, I'm gonna say there I am. 27-24, Washington Commanders come away with a win on Joey Sly's.
Ooh, first field goal of the season. Oh, second field goal of the season. Well, he's gonna hit 2. He's gonna have to hit 2 that game. Yeah,
I'm gonna say 35.
Hit one on the opening drive, and he's gonna hit one as the game winner.
24-20, and it's a coin flip for me.
But terrible fan that I am
towards the loss.
Yeah, I'm a terrible fan, man. I'm leaning 35-26.
Vegas has us as a 3-point underdog, and that seems about right because if it was the hometown spread is 3 points. So you never know. This game, Cooper Rush is going to light it up? I don't think so. I think our defense is playing better. I think Ben St. Juste should be locked on CeeDee Lamb, hopefully a lot during this game because he's been our best cornerback. I really like what I've seen out of him this year. And is William Jackson III going to come back?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think, if he does, you got to figure out something because I think we need St. Juste on the outside covering the big receivers. This is something to think about. See what's going to happen here. Are you going to kick St. Juste back inside? Who knows? Something they got to figure out.
The thing about it is that once they see that it worked, they'll fuck it up. They'll change it and put it back to something that doesn't work. That seems to be Jackson.
Scott Hartley says that it's going to be 24-21 Dallas.
Yeah, the thing is I think we're going to see a lot of that, and honestly, because a lot of our emotions are filled off of what we watched last week, and then going into Dallas, and then if we remind ourselves the last time we played Dallas as well, that was awful with them. I understand that was a COVID game and so on and so on. It's really hard to get excited into this one. So what I'm hoping for is that we all kind of come in with low expectations, and then we actually see a team perform and gets the win. And, we can walk out of this and say, okay, I think the team's biggest problem, and this goes with Ron Rivera, is we're not consistent at anything that we do. And we do not have an identity at what we're good at. We thought that we'd be good at throwing the ball down the field from what we displayed with Jacksonville. But, then when you're talking week 2, week 2, week 3, things changed a whole lot. It was like, the first week our offense did well, defense played poorly. Second week, it was, offense played poor. Right. So there's just no true identity. I want to see our boys come back healthy. We need Chase. We need Robinson. I think it's going to open up the playbook. I think Scott Turner, with what he currently has going on now, his playbook, he can't unleash what he wants to unleash with his plays.
Let me ask you something.
Excuses like assholes.
Everybody.
I agree.
But
if you don't think he didn't have to change his game plan when Robinson got shot, people are crazy.
Well, no, it's not a matter of that.
100%.
He's got he's got more weapons than he had last year. He's got the same offense that he had last year with better quarterbacking and deeper weapons. So
and a lot shittier offensive line.
The problem right now is that they have downgraded his offensive line. I didn't want to re-sign Scherf, but they have replaced him with a sack of flour. All right. And that's where our issues lie right now, is our interior offensive line.
Agreed.
That's why I'm so frustrated with this. You tell me one injury happens on our offensive line and it gets that bad?
Same thing when William Jackson went out too, and then we got a guy named Wild Goose coming in. I don't understand it.
We have an injury and shit, Xavier Rhodes just got signed by the Bills. The Bills went trying to win. Let's get this guy in here. And we go and say, well, hey, we're trying to, I don't know what the fuck we're trying to do. So let's go raid somebody's practice squad for some guy that's never seen the field and make him a starter. It's ridiculous what we do. And I've had people tell me, well, Xavier Rhodes doesn't fit what we fucking A. Who does fit what we do?
With all the
Nobody
animosity,
fits what they fucking do.
With all the animosity that this fan base has towards this team right now.
Yeah.
What if I'm going to play the what if game? What if we go to Dallas and win by 10? What happens? What are we seeing Monday morning?
Attaboy. That's what we're going to see.
Okay. That's fine. Is it going to flip the script, or are we going to have to?
No. It depends on how the win happens.
It's also against,
mind you, you just took the words right out of my mouth.
Right. People are pessimistic by nature.
This fan base is fickle. And it flip-flops seems like we did last year with Heineke. When we went on that 4-game win streak, everybody thought we were going to the fucking playoffs.
Well, you know why we flip-flop, though, Jesse? It's true, but you know why we flip-flop? Because, again, there's no consistency. Us fans have zero trust in our team.
That's right.
On a year-to-year basis.
I've come into this season. I'm not going to get too high. Even if we string off like 3 games in a row, it's just not going to fucking happen, man.
All right.
Can't do it.
One last question. Keep playing the music, John. One last question.
Even if we win, we can't win next week.
Are we still a 10-win team, boys?
No way. We're 10 losses by the 10th week.
Still remains to be seen.
Well,
it is still early. Still real early, It remains to be seen. I think maybe this next 2 weeks is going to tell us a lot, like really how this season is going to go, these next 2 games. I do think we have a chance against Dallas, and I do think we have a chance against the Titans.
I agree.
All right, so real quick, X factors, Jesse, real quick.
X factor. On defense, Montez Sweat.
Just pick
Montez Sweat is going to be an X factor. Let's get home, buddy. Let's get fucking home.
Yeah, we absolutely need to put pressure on the quarterback. If we can't do that, they're going to eat us.
Yeah.
X factor has to be, once again, Cole Holcomb. You have got to make sure Pollard does not beat your ass. You have got to make sure that fucking Zeke doesn't start all of a sudden to realize that it's 5 years ago. I've got brand new legs again. Don't let him do it. Don't let him do it.
Last week, I do think they contained Hurts enough to stop him with the run.
Jamin Davis was.
And James Davis continue that ascension, but I want Montez Sweat to get home. Let's get home. Let's get 2 sacks.
Me too.
All right, fellas, I got to get running.
Yep, we're out of here. All right, that's good. We'll see you all on Monday with a victory.
Woo, love you guys. Woo, go Commanders.
Bye.
Go Manders.
All right, y'all. I got to get out.